We're here today to talk about the gloves of Battlemage's power and how it interacts currently with Shadowblade. You can find the gloves, I've already looted them. You can find the gloves inside this room. Over here is where you find and fight or talk to Geringoth. There she is. And then in this opulent chest, I've already got them equipped, right? But I promise you they are from this chest here. You will find the gloves of Battlemage's power. They've had a change, they've had an update, they've been changed, fixed, because before now they just didn't work. It used to say that when you apply a condition with a melee attack, it gives you 2 stacks of Arcane Acuity. Now it says when you hit a target with a spell or cantrip that uses a weapon, you gain Arcane Acuity. I don't know whether they really checked this properly, because if you cast Shadowblade, here we are, one of the new spells. It's level 2 spell, it uses a bonus action, it doesn't require concentration. Here we are, we've got Shadowblade. If you cast any attack, it doesn't matter whether it's with a weapon or not. Let's say Eldritch Blast. One of them hit, one of them missed. I got 2 turns of Arcane Acuity. Now, instead of picking on the poor Woodward here, I'm going to go and put the last light in instead, because this is where I can find kind of the most number of enemies. Also, I have equipped the Hat of Fire Acuity. Whenever you deal fire damage, you gain Arcane Acuity for 2 turns. So let's throw out Fire Bolts against actually someone who's a mage, because they might cause some problems.
You were witnessed assaulting someone.
4 turns.
No gloom, all doom.
Okay, it was 4 turns. It's gone down by 1 because a new turn has started. I've now got 3 turns of Arcane Acuity. And maybe I just want to cast, I don't know, a Scorching Ray. It doesn't have to be 4 separate people. And you're going to reach 10 turns of Arcane Acuity so quickly. This works with Eldritch Blast, so if this keeps on leveling up, this is one reason to take 1 level in X-Blade. If we get to level, well, in 1 more level, when I'm character level 10, throw out 3 Eldritch Blasts, and every turn I can get, for 1 action, 6 turns of Arcane Acuity, and I can quicken that as a sorcerer. We're going to let this play through. As a reminder for those of you who don't know or have forgotten what Arcane Acuity is and does, for every turn remaining, the affected entity, in this case Gale, has a +1 bonus to his spell attack rolls and spell difficulty class. Do bear in mind that the duration does go down by 2 each time the entity does take damage, so this can go down quite quickly. Now, what does this mean? Why is this good? Well, it means you can do whatever you want. Gale's spell save DC is now 25. His charisma is only 18. There are ways to get charisma up to 22 and 24. Put that on top of Arcane Acuity, and you've got a spellcaster whose spells do exactly what they say they do, and the chances of enemies passing are very, very low. So I'm going to go with Fear. And these 4 people are very unlikely to pass. Yep. All fearful. Weapon dropped. Not a problem. So when it comes to their turn, hopefully we'll maintain concentration and spike growth. But when it comes to their turn, these 4 up here, they're just going to run away. I can now take a picture of their horrified faces, because they know that they're pretty screwed. Oh, spike growth got taken. Oh well. It was just the Dryad who'd cast spike growth. So if you feel your stacks of Arcane Acuity getting a bit low, you can either, if you don't want to use the spell slot, check out an Eldritch Blast. If these hit, it will go up by 4. Or, if you don't mind using a spell slot, I can check out Scorching Ray, and that will get me back up to 10. Assuming these hit, obviously there's a 95% chance only. There's still the chance there will be a critical miss. Boom, boom, boom. Back up to 10. And if you're feeling like you want to be very mean, and so maybe you just want to throw out Fireball, because who doesn't like doing that? I've got so many choices of thumbnails now. Here we've got Gale posing against these people in the background. Who knows? A Screwed, who he has given Radiant Orbs, who is made scared. He doesn't mind, he's putting out his jazz hands. Or maybe he is fighting crime. This is his courage pose. Look how powerful he feels. I think that's enough of me messing around actually for now. I've got other videos to be making, but point is, these are going to be some very powerful gloves. You don't have to have the gloves and the hat. You could maybe switch the hat out for something else that you've had your eye on for a while. If you've got the helmet of Arcane Acuity, that should also work if you're using something like Booming Blade, because Booming Blade gets both of them procced, so you get 4 turns of Arcane Acuity there. I want to make a point about how the gloves work and what types of actions do and don't work. So I'm going to attack Harper Anthony. Now, he does got the gloves of Battlemage's power equipped. And if I use Divine Smite as a reaction, I don't get it. However, I've got no Arcane Acuity down here. However, I pick Divine Smite as an action, I do get the 2 stacks of Arcane Acuity. I don't really agree with this. I think it should either work for Divine Smites or it shouldn't. But this does mean the gloves won't work for something like, let's say, Shillelagh, because the spell itself doesn't have an attack roll. All the spell does is it changes the ability used for attacks. It doesn't actually attack. So you've got to be really careful. If you want to use this on a paladin, and you want to use smites, you've got to choose to use the smites ahead of time, which I don't like because I like using my reaction, or not my reaction, but I like being able to apply the smite after the hit if I get a critical hit. So pay really careful attention to the sorts of spells and abilities that you are using, because the reaction here doesn't target the enemy. It's only when we use Divine Smite that we actually get to target an enemy. I think it's a technicality that shouldn't exist, but we've got to use it. I don't know if it will change. Perhaps it will change in the future. Who knows? It is just the beginning of patch 8. So you let me know some of your builds that were based around the gloves, perhaps. Any ideas you've got, any questions you've got, since we're very early on patch 8. Let me know what you think also of the changes. Thank you to all the members of my channel, and hopefully I'll catch you in the next one.